Hi, my name is Sophie, and I realized, you know what, we got to get ready for the midterms. It's time to start introducing you to different candidates. And as someone who is disabled, unable to work, unfortunately, at this time, I spend a lot of fucking time on the internet. I spend a lot of fucking time on Twitter, a lot of time on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and I'm trying to figure out, who are some people that we want to, primary the Diet Coke Republicans. And if you didn't know what Diet Coke Republicans are, Diet Coke Republicans are the people that literally are the Democratic establishment. They are the people that do not care about their constituents. They would rather care what their donors say than what their constituents say. They would rather go straight to Silicon Valley after they just lost one of the worst losses in American history to a 34 count convicted felon who is also a pedophile predator and is all over the Epstein files, and beg Silicon Valley donors, please don't leave the Democratic Party. Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, we want every single Diet Coke Republican out because I'm tired of this neoliberalism. I'm tired of capitalism. I'm ready for more of a socialist. I know, that's so crazy. What? I care about people? Oh my God. And I'm done with their way. So now it's time to do it our way. I think people don't understand that y'all have more power than you think. You have a lot of fucking power, actually. And one of your greatest powers is your vote. And so I'm excited to introduce you to one of the candidates that I am fully endorsing. His name is Jose Vega, and he is running against Richie Torres. Now, the name Richie Torres may sound familiar, but I think this clip may tell you a little bit better about who Richie Torres is rather than me. So I'll let him introduce himself.
Hamas murdered thousands of people, so there's no.
So what does that mean?
That Hamas is a terrorist organization for murdering innocent children and civilians.
How many civilians have been killed in this war?
The war is a tragedy, but
90% of them have been.
But
90% of them have been civilians. They've killed journalists. They've killed journalists.
People have been killed in a war. It's been a tragedy.
They've killed people waiting for aid.
But you're suggesting that it is the policy of the Israeli government to murder civilians, and that is a notion that I reject.
You gotta listen, man. You gotta be like a human being about this.
People who are dying in the war, which to me is a tragedy, because war is a tragedy.
Do you feel in your heart that this is what you're saying is right?
If you remove Hamas,
you don't actually think that.
I told you what I believe. Don't tell me what I believe. I've told you what I believe.
Why would you believe that?
Because there are people who see the world differently. I know it's a shock to you,
no.
But there are people who see the world differently.
But why?
I know that's a shock to you.
It seems a little bit like
the humanitarian crisis has deteriorated rapidly.
I don't want to be disrespectful like this.
You've been at various points.
In what capacity?
You've just been hostile.
In what capacity?
It's fine. Don't worry. It's just been a gotcha interview.
Do you want that man as your congressperson? I wouldn't. I don't even live in the Bronx, but as someone who understands the significance of representation, that man does not represent me. That man is pro-genocide, and that man is excusing the slaughter of babies, the starvation of children and elderly people, and just anyone because of the terrorist attack on October 7th. Richie Torres still to this day stands with them. And I don't really want the person to represent the Bronx to focus their entire personality, their entire being on a genocide. I would rather have someone like Jose Vega. And so I am officially going to introduce you to him. And I'm going to describe some of his policies, but I'm also going to show one thing that you're never going to see from Richie Torres, and that is a fighter. When I first started to see Jose Vega pop up on my, Twitter, he caught my eye instantly, I think because Richie Torres, no one was talking about primarying him. And he was, in my opinion, one of the number one people we have to get the fuck out of Congress. So I was kind of like surprised. I was like, who is this guy? Oh. And then I started seeing more and more of his stuff. And I went on his website and I saw this. I am running to break down the barriers that silence the people's voices. We must empower citizens to reclaim their stake in government, restore trust, and dismantle corruption. Together, we can restore faith in a government that truly serves its people. And I knew this is a candidate I have to support because we don't have a say anymore as the people. You think the White House is ours? That motherfucker literally just rammed the East Wing down without any permission. That used to be the people's house. That instead is Palantir's house, Miriam Adelson's house, all of the fucking donors' house. That is not the people's house. And so it's back to, I guess, part one of trying to reclaim our house back. Make sure that the United States is run by the people instead of the billionaires. And Jose Vega understands that. He gets that. And that's something that I am not hearing enough about, except from the candidates that I have endorsed, that I will introduce you in throughout the next couple of months. When I think of a fighter, I think of someone who runs towards the battle, not hides behind it and smirks and thinks they're a little prick. One of my favorite quotes that my mom has ever said to me is run towards the roar. She said that to me when I was very sick in the beginning with my endometriosis journey when I was 15 years old. From that day, I've always had that in my head. Run towards the roar. Always be a fighter. You would rather run towards it than run away from it. And so I want to introduce you to when Jose Vega ran towards something. He ran towards confronting Richie Torres, literally an apex shill, about his decisions. And I think it's important to also see that not only is Jose Vega running against Richie Torres, but Richie Torres is his congressperson. And is this how you want your congressperson to talk to you? To diminish you? To move you away? I don't think so.
Congressman, you eat here? Really?
I live in the neighborhood.
Wow, that's awesome. You know, it's hard because people don't often see you in the neighborhood. That's crazy. You know, let me tell you something. You know, what is it about you and endless war? You just seem to love war, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's Gaza. You know, the thousands of dead Palestinian children that you funded. You know, don't you think that that's crazy? You know,
why you run cover for war?
Do you agree or disagree with the DNI that the war in Ukraine is pretty much over and that the Trump administration is trying to...
You're a tool of the Kremlin.
I'm a tool of the Kremlin? Seriously? You know what is reality? That you are responsible for the death of thousands of Palestinian children, thousands of Ukrainian children. You love funding war. You love funding genocide. Listen, the crowd prince of genocide is here, thinking he can just get away by sitting here and eating comfortably while there are thousands of Palestinian children who have to suffer because of the decisions of this guy who is either responsible, since he's in the Congress, for doing absolutely, you know, nothing about it, or the fact that he gets funding from AIPAC.
Cover for war criminals. Why do you use our voice
Congressman,
to support the erasure of Palestine?
Congressman, no matter where you go in the Bronx, people hate you because they know the truth about you, Congressman. They know what you really are, a sellout, an AIPAC sellout, okay? All you do is get paid by the Israeli lobby. You are nothing. You're a joke of a congressman. You have no real principles whatsoever.
Why do you use my voice to whitewash war crimes, Richie Torres?
Congressman!
Why do you use my voice to run cover for war criminals like Bibi Netanyahu? What do you get from Israel to run cover for them? You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to your constituency. You should resign. You should be primary.
Take care,
Shame
Congressman.
on you, Richie. Don't touch me. You don't need to touch me. You don't put your hands on me. All right? Come on, guys. Let's go. You made your point.
I think when you think of people that you want to aspire to be, you aspire to be people who want to help others. And when you see someone running towards the roar, you know that's exactly what Jose Vega is going to do for you. He was not afraid to run towards the roar. He was not afraid of Richie Torres. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people are, because he's literally bought by AIPAC. And unfortunately, that's a lot of the Democratic Party. They're bought by AIPAC. And I'm sorry, it's at the point where I would rather our Congress people not be bought at all. I would rather them be, I don't know, give a fuck about us instead. Our rights, the fact that we're living in a fascist regime, the fact that Donald Trump is literally bought by the Saudis and Israel, and on top of the fact that he is literally becoming a billionaire every single day while he is the president of the United States because of all of his crypto scams. And yet you probably wouldn't hear about that at all, because the Democrats suck at fucking messaging. And so I think that's another reason why it's important to have people that you root for people that are willing to run towards the roar. And I truly believe that Jose Vega is one of those people. I want to talk about a few of his policies that are on his website. I will have it linked below. If you are interested in supporting him, please donate, please support, please volunteer for him. Remember, the primaries are in November. We have some time, but we have to get people to see who this man is. I don't think a lot of people know about Jose Vega. I think his story has kind of spread some movement since this video that I just showed you was shown, but I think also when it was found out that his stepdad was kidnapped by ICE. His stepdad is currently in an ICE detention facility. This man is living most of our fears. His family is living a lot of people's fears at this time. He feels your pain. When has Richie Torres ever done that? I truly don't remember. Richie Torres goes back about how he grew up poor, how he grew up in the Bronx, how he grew up stuck, feeling closeted because he was gay, which is fair, understandable. But he's never done anything but that, tell his story. He's not fought for the LGBTQ plus community. He has not fought to make sure that rent prices don't rise in the Bronx. I think that's why it's important to have people that are living our nightmares, are experiencing our truth, are standing with us while we're going through some of our darkest times. Because that's when you know that they will fight for you. Jose Vega has a couple of policies. I'm not going to break down all of it. I think that he is, from what I can gather, he's a historian buff, kind of like me. And I think that he really enjoys where things were during FDR's time. Understandable. FDR was great. He literally was elected 4 fucking times. That's the reason we have term limits. And so I think a lot of his ideas are based off of that time. And he explains it in his website. So go check it out, donate, volunteer, check it out. But I think it's important to break down just the simple acts of his policies. So I think that all Democrats need to run on the Medicare for All policy. As someone who has, unfortunately, multiple chronic illnesses and is currently disabled, I understand the necessity of insurance. I am one of the many people that have had their insurances prices go up since the Republicans refused to do this Obamacare subsidies. I used to pay $1,048 a month, and now my parents are going to have to pay $1,171 a month. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And as someone who does not have an income, I have to rely on their parents. as someone who relies on their parents, the burden of bills, medical bills specifically, weighs on my head all the time. And I don't think it should. I don't think it should, considering that we literally have billionaires living tax-free. I don't think that's fair. So obviously, Vega, all for Medicare for all. Literally one of my big things personally. I don't know about you, but that's one of my personal big things I look for in a candidate. Another thing that I thought was really interesting, and he goes really in depth on how he wants to do it. It makes sense to me, but I want you to go to his website to understand kind of what he's talking about. But he wants to make the Bronx the center for reindustrialization of the United States. As Trump has promised over and over and over again, factories are back, baby. Factories are back. We are going to have factories. People are coming in because of the tariffs. No, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. And Jose Vega kind of breaks down his idea on how to bring factories actually back, bring jobs actually back to the Bronx. Something that's really passionate and important to both of us as a daughter of an immigrant. He is a stepson to an immigrant, a robust immigration reform. Obviously, this Gestapo bullshit ain't fucking working. And we need to fully do a deep dive into redoing it. And Democrats need to understand that this is one of their most failed policies by not fixing it. And so we need to elect people that actually want to fix this instead of putting people in warehouses like was just announced a couple of days ago. The last thing that he describes on his website is a revolutionary approach to foreign policy, peace through development, music to my ears. As someone who is anti-war, has always been anti-war, I have never understood why the fuck are we going to so many wars. The math ain't mathin'. Especially considering that we had 800,000 people that were homeless last year in 2024, and about 60,000 of them were veterans. I never truly understood the significance of let's go to more war, let's go to more war. And as Trump is trying to send us to another forever war in Venezuela, I think it's significant to understand that the Democrats need to actually run on a no war party mentality. Anti-war is the Democratic Party. But it's hard considering that a majority of them, again, are beholden to their donors, beholden to the people that want to send your children off to war because then they get more money. And so he doesn't want that. He actually wants to, I don't know, diplomacy. I know that's shocking. Who would have fucking thought diplomacy would be a thing? Diplomacy would be significant. It is. It is. And those are the breakdowns of some of his policies. Yet again, go to his website, volunteer, donate, look through his policies. He's a huge history buff, so he really breaks down where he has gotten his inspiration. And it makes sense because before Reagan, billionaires didn't exist. Millionaires existed, but billionaires didn't exist. And that even was a big deal. And yet millionaires, see, I can't even, there's too many, and we're about to have a fucking trillionaire. Millionaires understood that they had to pay more in taxes for the economy to be better, for people to create a middle class. And yet that luxury kind of has tainted the people that now run our country. So I think it's really important to understand this background of where he gets his ideas. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you are interested in supporting Jose Vega and understand that it's time to have an actual representative for the Bronx, not someone who says they're from the Bronx and then is never there and is always in other places getting bougied away, getting lulled away by all the donors. Yeah, I don't want that. I want someone that's actually like talking to people out on the streets, protesting, fighting for their people. And I truly see that in Jose Vega. He does not know me personally. I do not know him personally. He doesn't even know I'm just doing this video. But I'm doing this because I'm really passionate about making change. I'm really passionate about the future of this country. The fact that we're currently living in a fascist authoritarian dictatorship and no one's screaming with their hair on fire. He's one of the only people that I've noticed that truly understands the severity of the situation. And that's inspiring. That's good. That gives me hope. Something I don't know when I felt. I don't remember when I felt. So go check him out. I will be continuing to do this series of I haven't decided what I want to name it. I was thinking like meet my candidate or meet the candidate, but they're not like my candidate because like they're around the country. I haven't decided. If you have a name, well, let me know for the series. I have the Epstein files. That one's break down the rabbit hole, but I don't have a name for this kind of series. But I have a handful of candidates that I will be introducing you all to in the upcoming months. If there is a specific candidate that you think I should look into, let me know. Put it in the comments. Will I endorse them? That is up to me. But I still would love to learn more candidates, be able to kind of introduce people to more candidates, because I'm sorry, I want a blue fucking tsunami in November, but not just a blue tsunami. I want a blue socialist tsunami in December. And I'm sorry, stop being fucking afraid of the word socialism. Look at where capitalism has gotten us, to fascism. So enough being afraid of socialism. The word is not as fucking scary as you think it is. I can do an entire breakdown of what socialism actually is and why it's actually good for you, if that's something you're interested in. But I truly think that now more than ever, we need more lefty socialist politicians and less Diet Coke Republicans, Hakeem Jeffries and Richie Torres. I'm so sorry. There was like something stuck in my throat. I apologize. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If there's any comments, questions, or concerns, let me know. I am very open to this. I stream as much as I possibly can as well to talk about the significance of what is going on, politics, news, and I do it from a different lens. I do it as someone who used to be a social worker. I do this as someone who is disabled, but also as a daughter of an immigrant. And with the crackdown on ICE, I think it's really important to uplift the voices of immigrants now more than ever. So follow me there if you're interested. Subscribe, like, I think that's everything. I'm not sure. But the most important thing is, though, check out Jose Vega and then like this video. Okay, that's 2 things. But I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you later. Bye.